What if the Democratic Party is now socialist? Lately, we have been hearing a lot about the socialistic and progressive movement due to Bernie Sanders. And now the Democratic Party can't even distinguish the difference between a socialist and a Democrat. Listen to them try to explain.
What is the difference between a Democrat and a socialist? I used to think there was a big difference. What do you think it is?
The difference between
a Democrat like Hillary Clinton and a socialist like Bernie Sanders.
What's the difference between being a Democrat and being a Republican?
Well, what's the bigger difference? What's the big difference between a Democrat and a socialist? You're the chairman of the Democratic Party. Tell me the difference between you and a socialist.
The relevant debate that we'll be having over the course of this campaign is what's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?
A socialist and a Democrat.
Oh, it depends how you define each one, doesn't it?
Well, you do it.
Well, I'm not going to get into it, but...
Why not? Nobody will do it. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the chair of the Democratic Party, won't answer my question. Hillary Rodham, you guys are well-schooled in political polemics and language and nomenclature. You're quite capable of defining the difference between a socialist, self-described, and a Democrat, self-described. Yeah, you're somewhere there. What's the difference between a socialist and a Democrat?
Well,
is that a question you want to answer, or would you rather not?
Well, you know, you'd have to ask.
Well, see, I'm asking you. You're a Democrat. He's a socialist. Would you like somebody to call you a socialist? I wouldn't like somebody calling me a socialist.
But I'm not one.
Okay. Well, what's the difference between a socialist and a Democrat? Last question.
I can tell you what I am. I am a progressive Democrat. I'm a progressive Democrat.
How's that different than a socialist?
Who likes to get things done and who believes that
caucus attenders out here are socialists. I mean, they accept the word. There's no reason to be hesitant about it or squeamish about it. They fully accept the word socialist. Does that surprise you?
You know, what they are interested in is a fair and equitable...
But why do they accept the word socialist when 10 years ago they wouldn't have?
Well, because we're moving progressively towards a better understanding of what's happening in this country and the need for us to sort of focus on the middle class, focus on income inequality, which is what Hillary's been talking about. And to Robbie's point, look, this is about getting things done. At the end of the day, this is about getting things done.
Are you a socialist? No, I'm asking.
I'm a Democrat.
Are you a socialist?
I am a Democrat.
Hillary says she's not a socialist. Are
I'm
you a socialist?
Democrat.
I'm a Democrat.
What's the difference between a Democrat and a socialist?
I think, again...
No, what's the difference between a Democrat and a socialist? Help our viewers.
I will let Bernie Sanders describe what socialism is.
Why don't you want to do... Why are you guys so squeamish about this?
Here, Chris, I'll tell you a difference. I think the difference for me is getting things done.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Given that Bernie Sanders is an unabashed socialist, believes in social democratic governments, likes the ones in Europe, what is the difference? Can you explain the difference?
You know, Chuck, it's always fun to be interviewed by Chris Matthews, and I know that he enjoys that banter. The important distinction that I think we're going to be discussing, I'm confident we'll be discussing in this campaign, is the difference between Democrats and Republicans.
My question to you, I guess, is the word socialist. I want to get right to this, because I want to help your campaign. I want to see you get the nomination. I want to see you do president. We have to teach Americans what this is.
We do.
And I don't know if we're doing that yet.
Okay.
I don't think most Americans realize they're already socialists.
In certain respects, okay.
Socialism is the programs they already like. They like Social Security. That's socialism. But they like Medicare. They like the VA. They like the military.
No, that's exactly right.
It's already a socialist country.
But what we have to... No, it's not a socialist country.
It's quasi.
Quasi. There are some socialist programs.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Can you define socialism?
Socialism?
Can you define socialism?
Can I define socialism? Probably not, if I'm being totally honest.
Socialism, oh boy. I don't think I can.
Like Social Security, roads, Medicaid, depending on the form that it takes. Anything that's sort of come together and publicly funded and through our government would be socialism. I might be wrong, so if you make me look like a fool on the news, I'll forgive you for it.
What Hillary saying, no, you can't. To me, that's just like telling Dr. Martin Luther King, you couldn't dream. There's nothing wrong with dreaming. We want to teach our kids to dream. We don't want to tell our kids, you cannot dream. You can dream. And it can be possible with a political revolution.
Thank you for watching, and watch more of our videos at whatif1912.com. As always, please support us by subscribing, sharing, and giving us a quick thumbs up.